What's up, guys, and welcome to episode number 2 of Harbor Youth. We're doing things still a little bit different, and we're going to be doing this format for the next couple weeks. So hopefully you've enjoyed what we've been doing so far. We do have another episode of the Bro Show coming up, and I hope that you're getting stoked about that. And clearly, you know who the best Rutherford brother is, but we're not going to get into that right now. We also have another awesome teaching video, or maybe it's a reaction. I don't know. I put the vote up to you guys. Do you know who actually won that vote? You will be finding out soon. But anyways, if any of you guys are new with us tonight, my name is Christian. I'm the youth pastor guy here, and you're probably in a room with one of my awesome leaders right now. And so make sure you guys show them some love. But I know you didn't come here to listen to me talk for a few minutes. You came here to watch the Bro Show, episode 2. So let's go ahead and get to that. What's up? Hey, and welcome to the Bro Show.
The show with the bros.
The Bro
Show.
And shows
With bros.
the Bro
Show.
The Bro Show.
The bro show.
The Bro Show.
Whoa.
What? Okay, hey, I hope that you guys are ready for episode number 2 of the
Bro.
Show. All right, and today's challenge,
What we got?
we've got a dozen
My
and a
twin.
half of eggs, okay? This is called egg roulette.
Egg roulette.
Okay, there is 18 eggs right here before you. Let's just show those again. There's 18, all right? These have been mixed around, and 17 of these eggs are hard-boiled, okay? One of them is not. All right, so today's challenge is for us to get through this, and whoever smashes the raw egg on their head is the loser.
It's gonna be you.
And therefore, the winner and the best brother would be the one
We're
who
taking
has
win number 2.
no raw egg on their face.
It's gonna be me.
But today, we actually have something very, very special.
We do.
Very, very special. More special than eggs that smell very bad. All right, today we have a special guest!
A special guest!
A special guest on the Bro Show!
On the Bro Show!
Okay, all right, that's enough. Special guest in 3, 2, 1.
Shroom!
What's up?
Oh my gosh! It's the Bro
Show!
with a sis! Guys, this is my sister Taryn.
She's mine too. We're related.
Actually, I'm wedged in the middle.
That's life. That's exactly how we grew up.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so anyways, this is my sister Taryn. Everybody say, what's up, Taryn? Oh, there's nobody in here. Okay, but hopefully I hear you saying that throughout the room while I'm just walking around aimlessly looking for friends. All right, but anyway, so Taryn, you've decided to join the Bro Show today.
Yeah, I'm not sure about these eggs, but we'll go with it.
Okay, well, you know what? Since you are our guest, it only makes sense if
I
you
go
go
first.
first.
Of course.
Never mind.
Watch. First one. It's
First
gonna be
one.
the
If it's the first
one, I will die.
And it's gonna ruin the. Oh,
All right.
by the way,
Hold on.
guys, it has been determined that if it does smash on the sis's face, and it's the raw egg, that it then is a tie for us this week.
That is correct. And we have to do a sudden death match.
Alright.
I don't even know what that would be. We would figure it out.
I don't know.
I don't like the way that sounds. All right, let's go, Taryn.
Hair is back and ready. I'm nervous.
Oh my gosh, please don't be the first egg. That-
Please be the first
All right.
egg.
Okay, all right, here it goes.
3, 2, 1. No, I don't think so.
Did that hurt?
No.
Oh gosh! All right, these. All right, wait.
It smells really bad.
These are not for. All right, I'm gonna go with this one.
Not for human consumption.
All right, here we go.
That's it.
3, 2, 1. Ah! All right.
I don't like this
So
game.
far, I'm
This
winning.
one feels liquidy.
Does it?
This
Well,
one
you already
feels-
picked it up. It's in your hand.
This is it, guys. Game over. Ready? 3, 2. This is a lot of pressure.
You have to
Go
do
for
it.
it.
That was it! Yes, I'm the winner! I called it! Yes! Oh my gosh, was it really it?
That was it!
That's it!
I called it!
Well,
that was short.
That was the bro show. That was the show with the bros.
And the sis.
And you lost. All right, time to go to teaching time. All right, guys, what's up? As always, I filmed this section first because, you know, like, I don't want to, like, have stuff on my face while I'm trying to teach you. That way we can do this distraction-free, and it's great. But hopefully you just enjoyed another segment of the Bro Show, because I know that we enjoy doing it and, you know, making fools of ourselves for your entertainment. But today, we have another teaching video, and it's going to be awesome because you got to choose what we were going to do. I said, should we finish Jonah chapter 4, or should we do another reaction video? Because we did, I think, personally, an awesome reaction video last week. And here's what happened. I put it up on Instagram. So if you're not following us on Instagram, please do so. It is harbor_youth. All right. Make sure that you are following us on there so you can keep up with stuff. But anyways, I put this poll up and I said music symbol, microphone, or whale. All right. And what came back was literally 50-50. So here is what we are going to do. We're going to do something that has never been done before. And we are going to react to an audio rendition of Jonah chapter 4. All right, so I hope that you're ready to do this with me because I'm excited about it. So let me go ahead and hit record here on my screen, and we're gonna get at this. All right, so here we go. Let's get this. This is gonna be some good stuff. Maybe they'll put a beat in the background. I don't know. We'll see how it sounds in post.
Chapter 4. I knew this was going to happen. Jonah was...
First of all, let's just talk about how wonderful that voice is. All right, that's a good reading. I know that we're really gonna get into this. I need you guys to focus in, listen hard. This is gonna be good. All right, so we know Jonah was something. Let's hit play.
Was furious. He lost his temper. He yelled at God. God, I knew it. When I was back home, I knew this was going to happen. That's why I ran off to Tarshish. I knew you were sheer grace and mercy, not easily angered, rich in love, and ready at the drop of a hat to turn your plans of punishment into a program of forgiveness.
Okay, a program of forgiveness. That's what I'm talking about, Jonah. Okay, first off, Jonah, got a little problem with you right now. Let's kind of rewind. I know we kind of took a week off of Jonah, but remember, he ran away from God first off. Then God was like, hey, I still kind of want to use you, has this big storm. He literally decides, you know what? I'm going to off myself at this point because I would rather die than for me to actually follow through with what it is that God is calling me to do. So he throws himself overboard. As he's about to die, he remembers how great and merciful and loving God is. And so he calls out to God, and then God has this big fish come and grab him, and he lives inside the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights, gets thrown up on dry land, and then finally goes and does what he's supposed to in Nineveh. But remember, if you remember a couple weeks ago when we talked about how he went into Nineveh, he went in and he basically was just like, you know what? All y'all going to hell in 40 days. That's basically what his message was. He said, Nineveh will be overthrown in 40 days. He didn't come in with like grace and love and mercy like he just experienced from God. And then so here he is throwing his temper tantrum. He's like, God, I knew it. I knew back when, this is why I fled in the first place. See, remember, we thought that he was fleeing from Nineveh and going to Tarshish because he was scared of Nineveh. No, he knew that God was full of grace and mercy. He was not easily angered. He is rich in love. And he knew that he wasn't going to go for punishment. He was going to go for a program of forgiveness. And Jonah didn't want to do that. And you know what? I see so many Christians today who know of the grace and the mercy and the love of Christ, and they hold it in for themselves. And they actually go and try to keep it from certain groups of people, just like Jonah was doing. Okay? So let's go on. Let's see what he says.
So God, if you won't kill them, kill me. I'm better off dead.
Here he goes again with this. Jonah is the most dramatic person that I've ever seen. He's like, God, just kill me. I would just rather be dead than for the Ninevites to receive grace. Like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, you just ran from God and you ran away from his call and you were just saying this beautiful prayer in chapter 2 about how you were knocking on the gates of death and how God was picking you up out of that and how everything was going to be great. And now you would rather die than for a whole entire city of people to know who Jesus is? Okay? All right. I don't know about you right now, Jonah.
God said, "What do you have to be angry about?" But Jonah just left. He went out of the city to the east and sat down in a sulk.
I know some of y'all like this. Like mom and dad come to you and like they call you out on something. And instead of like, they're like, what do you have to be angry about? Instead, you just like walk away and start sulking. Like you go sit in your bed. And you're like, ugh. You know, like, no, that's exactly what Jonah was doing right here. He completely just walked away and was like, I'm just going to go and sulk. Like God was challenging him, trying to have a conversation with him, trying to have a relationship with Jonah and teach him something in this moment. But instead, Jonah decided, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sulk. All right.
He put together a makeshift shelter of leafy branches and sat there in the shade to see what would happen to the city.
Really, Jonah? Did you hear what he just said right there? Like Jonah went and he made this little makeshift shelter and he was like, I'm just going to hang out in here in this little shelter and I'm going to see what happens to the city. So he wants still for God to come in and destroy the city. Remember a couple weeks ago, we were talking about how this wording that he used where he said Nineveh will be overthrown is the same language that God used when talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. So the people there knew that this word overthrown, what that was going to mean because they had heard the stories about what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. And that is what Jonah wants to happen to the city of Nineveh. So he goes and he builds himself a spot to watch the show. All right. I used to go to NASCAR races when I was a kid. And we'll talk about that later. But I love it. NASCAR is great. Jimmy Johnson, let's go. All right. And I got great tickets all the time. My grandfather worked in the tire industry. We had great tickets. We could see the whole track. It was fantastic. But my entire life, I always wanted to go to the infield. And they have these like RVs with these like rickety like little like shelters built over the top of them with like couches on top of them. And I was like, that's where I want to be. And that's what Jonah did. He goes and he grabs his RV, parks it in the infield. He builds this like rickety little shelter on top with a couch on top, grabs him a drink, and he's ready to watch the show. And, you know, like we go to NASCAR races because we like to watch cars crash, okay? Don't let us tell you anything else. We like to watch cars crash, all right? And that is exactly what Jonah was looking for right here. He was looking for this city to crash and to burn. And he set himself up a stadium to watch it, all right? Again, keep in mind that this is after God had already shown Jonah so much grace. All right, let's go on.
God arranged for a broadleaf tree to spring up. It grew over Jonah to cool him off and get him out of his angry sulk. Jonah was pleased and enjoyed the shade. Life was looking up.
Man, life was looking up. Jonah got him a leaf. I don't know about y'all, but I get angry when I'm hot. And I think that's where God's kind of getting at right here. He had this little plant come up over Jonah on his little shelter and shaded him. Because, you know, this is Israel. Like, I'm thinking deserts, you know, desolate, hot. All right, I don't like to be hot. One time, me and my wife and my best friend were in a car on a road trip. And they thought it would be funny while I was sleeping in the back seat to lock the windows and turn the heat on full blast. So I woke up like screaming and like needing out of the car. So we're going like 70 down the highway and I'm like opening up the door because I'm like, it's hot. All right. And that is what Jonah's kind of seeing, you know what? This is nice. Life is looking up. I've got this leaf. I'm cooling off. And God did this to try to get Jonah out of his funk. Like, that's what it says right here. He wanted to get him out of his angry sulk. You know, let's give him some comfort. You know, like when you're angry, you have some things that might comfort you. Maybe you listen to some music, you cuddle up in your bed. Maybe you scream into your pillow. Maybe you go and murder zombies on Call of Duty, like whatever it is that like you need to do for that. So God was helping him out, gave him a nice little leaf, and life was looking up for poor little Jonah. All right, let's see what goes on from here.
But then God sent a worm.
Oh, God. You sent a worm? Okay, all right, let's see what happens.
Dawn of the next day, the worm had bored into the shade tree, and it withered away. The sun came up, and God sent a hot, blistering wind from the east. The sun beat down on Jonah's head, and he started to faint. He prayed to die. I'm better off dead.
Here he goes again. All right, let's talk about God's got a sense of humor. All right? Like some people might look at this passage and think God is mean, but nah, God's got a sense of humor. He was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. Hey, Jesus, watch this. Let's see what we're going to do to Jonah real quick. All right? And he's like, let's have this little leaf come up over Jonah, and then let's send a worm. And then like send this really hot heat and just make him feel even more miserable, because that's exactly what Jonah was doing to those people in Nineveh. He was like, I want to watch them burn. And so God's like, you know what? Here, let me give you a little feel of this. And Jonah goes off in his little dramatic self once again, and he's like, oh, I'm better off dead. And here we go. Let's see what God says about it.
Then God said to Jonah, what right do you have to get angry about this shade tree?
Why does Jonah have any right to be angry about this shade tree? All right, for it came up, it offered him a nice, cool day, and then it went away. All right, why's he got to be angry? Let's see what he says.
Jonah said, "Plenty of right. It's made me angry enough to die."
Dramatic.
God said, "What's this? How is it that you can change your feelings from pleasure to anger overnight about a mere shade tree that you did nothing to get?"
Ooh, listen to God coming at him. Okay, all right, hold on.
"You neither planted nor watered it. It grew up one night and died the next night. So..."
Okay, so God's coming in on Jonah right here, and he's like, okay, how can you go from being happy to being angry overnight about this tree that you didn't do anything for? I gave this to you. You didn't do anything for it, all right? You were angry in one moment, you were happy in the next moment, now you're angry again, all right? So tell me this, he says.
"Why can't I likewise change what I feel about Nineveh, from anger to pleasure, this big city of more than 120,000 childlike people who don't yet know right from wrong, to say nothing of all the innocent animals?"
And that's how Jonah chapter 4 ends. To say nothing of all the innocent animals. Okay, interesting. Or in other translations, it says, and many cattle. All right, that's a weird way to end Jonah chapter 4, but let's talk about it for a second. Okay, remember this plant, Jonah didn't do anything for this plant at all whatsoever. God made it grow, it went away, all this stuff, and he gets to this point where he's like, look, why is it that I can't change my mind? Just like you changed your mind. You were happy and great when the tree was over you, and then you were upset and angry when the tree was gone. A little dramatic because you're wishing to die again. Like, yeah, Jonah, we've heard it. You want to die. Whatever, okay? And God goes on and he's like, but listen, there's 120,000 childlike people, okay? Meaning people who just don't, other translations say that these people don't know their right from their left, meaning they don't know the right from the wrong things. They still don't know the truth like you know, Jonah. So why are you mad at them? There's so many Christians out there who look at people who are on the outside world who don't know the truth, and they're judging people and like making these accusations about them when those people don't actually know the truth about Christ, the real Christ, not the Christ that we've like made up and turned into this like fun little religion thing, but no, the real Jesus who wants an authentic relationship with you, who loves you for you no matter what. And then the weird ending. Okay, where he says, and I like the English Standard Version where he says, and much cattle. Where he's like, what about all 120,000 people? That's like the city of Wilmington, all right? And then he's like, okay, if you don't care about 120,000 people, what about the cows? What about the innocent animals, Jonah? Do you not at least care about the animals? And the reason that this was important because, animals are the livelihood of those people. Jonah would have sympathized with that at least, because that could have been money for him as well. And so God just kind of ends it there. That's the end of Jonah chapter 4. And the point of the entire story is not for my phone to vibrate on the table and make lots of loud noises, but for us to have sympathy towards other people, to be listening to the call that God puts on each and every one of our lives. He calls each and every one of us in the Great Commission in Matthew chapter 28 to go and make disciples. And what that simply means is that we go and we tell people about Jesus and what he's done for us in our lives, what we've experienced and seen in him, because the only person who knows what it's like to have a relationship with Jesus is you. All right? I can't have that relationship for you. Your parents can't have that relationship for you. The youth leader in your room right now can't have that relationship for you. That's got to be on you. All right? So, are you seeking after that relationship with him? And are you willing to go and tell people about that? Let's go into this discussion time as a group. I'm excited to see what our discussion leans towards today. And hopefully you've enjoyed the very first ever reaction of an audio reading of Jonah chapter 4.